Is it appearing above my screen? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appearance.
Yes, sir.
So this was our last class, design of spring based on fluctuating load or nothing but fatigue loading. So today we are going to discuss the topic concentric springs or nothing but composite spring. So composite spring means nothing but the spring inserted into another spring. So both springs at a time we are designing. See here, if we see the diagrams here, two types of springs are appearing here. This is a one kind of concentric spring. This is another type of concentric spring. So what is the difference here? In this first type of concentric spring, both spring means this is the number one spring, this is the number two spring. Okay. So if you see number one and number two, both are having the same length. Now if you see the second type of spring, if you observe what is the difference here, the one spring is having the longer length than the second spring. That is a slight difference. So this is a nothing but concentric or composite spring means nothing but more than one springs are present in a similar axis. So that is treated as a concentric spring. So these springs are the here 2 points is given as a purpose. First one is to obtain the greater spring force within the given space. So see here greater spring force. It means such type of springs we can generally observe in our two-wheeler vehicles. At the rear wheel, the spring is attached here, is there on the damper. So at that time, way there you can find the such type of design. It means for a particular given space, whatever the force you require more than the absorbing outside the energy deflections, so that given the more spring force. Now, second one is to ensure the operation of mechanism in the event of failure of the one spring. Suppose in any some situations, some either this one or the second one, if fail. So the second one, suppose first spring is failed. Now at that moment, the spring second is going to take the whatever the forces is there, whatever the deflections is there, whatever the action is there, going to take over by the second spring. Otherwise, sometimes the second spring is going to fail. So whatever the absorption and energy absorbing and the deflection, whatever the mechanical behavior is there, that is going to take place by the first spring. So the compensation is going to take over by the alternate springs when one of the spring is going to fail. Now see here, such type of spring, the first category type of spring is going to use where automobile clutch plates, valves in aircraft, heavy duty diesel engines, railroad car axles, just now I said. So there you can find the practical application of the springs. The second category you can find in the governors of the variable speed engines to take care of the variable centrifugal forces. So there you can find this type of springs. So here what we have to do, we have to design, means already we designed the all parameters. So here we have to compare in every criteria. So we have the strength criteria, we have deflection, and we have the spring index, solid length, whatever the all parameters are there, all parameters we have to compare. So for designing purpose, the first category type of spring I am considering this type of spring. Okay. So see here, for the spring having the length L same and having the material, whatever the material we are preferring, that material is same. So these are all our assumptions. spring index is same, deflection is same. These are all our assumptions. Based on these assumptions, we are going to comparing the all parameters. So first one by one, if we see, one by one, now we are assuming that both springs are made of same material. First one, both springs are same material. So at this time, because we are considering the both of same material, shear strength in the first spring, shear stress in the second spring. First spring, second spring means, don't get confused, Babu. In the spring only, in this first category spring only, two springs are there. The outer one is the first spring, the inner one is the second spring. Don't get confused, okay? So the spring 1 and spring 2 having the same material, so that's the reason maximum shear stress equal maximum shear stress 2. Okay, so what is maximum shear stress? K1 into 8W1 D1 by pi D1 cube. What is shear stress 2? K2 into 8W2 into D2 by pi D2 cube. So because this is having the same material property and we are considering assuming that both spring indexes are same, so that's the reason these are gets cancelled. Now W1 D1 equal pi D cube equal W1 W2 D2 by pi D2 cube. Now consider this is the one equation naming given, we are naming as a first equation. So this equation is used when any one of the parameter we don't know.
Sir,
Suppose,
K is equal for both the springs, sir.
what am
K1, K2 is cancelled, no, sir. The both will be having the same
Same. We are
same
assuming
value.
same value. So this equation, first equation is used when we don't know any one unknown parameter. Suppose in this equation we know the first all parameters, we don't know only D2. So at this time, this equation we are going to use to calculate the D2, like that. Now second time, if the springs are effective throughout their working range and then their free length and deflections are same. So second assumption is deflection of the spring 1 and 2 are the same. So what is the deflection here? A to W1 D1 cube into N1 by G D1 power 4 equal 8 W2 D2 cube into N2 by G D2 power 4. Okay. Now see here, this is the deflection equation. When the spring is totally get compressed, now the length is considered as a solid length. So solid length of the spring is defined as a, I'm writing here, solid length N into D, basic definition. So because both after compression of the total, the first spring and second spring, it gets totally compressed, the solid length for the both springs are same. Okay. So this equation I am writing here in this one. So W1 into D1 cube into N1 by G D1 power 4 into N1 D1 equal W2 into D2 cube into G D2 power 4 N2 D2. So see here, because both are just at the beginning we assume that both are same material, so that's the reason G and G both properties are gets cancelled, and here N1 N2 N2. Now W1 by D1 cube by D1 power 5 equal W2 into D2 cube by D2 power 5. Okay. Now consider this is the second equation. This is the third equation. Okay. Now divide the third equation by first equation. So dividing the third equation by first equation. So what is the third equation? W1 into D1 cube by D1 power 5 W2 D2 cube by D2 power 5 divided by first equation. What was the first equation? W1 D1 by D1 cube W2 D2 by D1 cube D2 cube. So after simplifying, we will get D1 square by D1 square equals D2 square by D2 square. So what does it mean? Suppose if you remove the squares, so what you will get? D1 by D1, D2 by D2. It means D by D, that is C. What we assumed at the beginning, spring index is same for the two materials, that we proved here by D1 by D2, D1 by D1, D2 by D2. Okay, so consider this is another equation as a 4. Okay, not this is the one, this is the one, equation 4. Now the spring should be designed in such a way that the spring index for the both materials are same. Now from the equation, first equation and fourth equation, what we can written? What is the first equation? Again I am writing W1 into D1 by D1 power 3 equal W1 W2 D2 by D2 power 3. Now what is the fourth equation? This is the fourth equation. From the fourth equation, what we can write? We can write here, instead of this one, here I am writing, see here D1 by D1 as a 1. So that is W1 into C by D1 square equal W2 into, same here also, W2 into C by D2 square. Okay. Now because both are having the same C value, we are making this one. Now W1 by D1 square equal W2 by D2 square, or else we can write this one, W1 by W2 equal D1 by D2 whole square. So this is the equation number 5. Okay, next one. Equation number 5. Now we have to find the radial clearance. So radial clearance means C here. So C here indicating capital small c, that is the radial clearance. So for one side I am calculating, not to both sides. I am calculating for the one side. So clearance we can get from the D1 subtract the d1 minus d2, so we will get the axis difference. Again here, half portion of the spring, first spring wear, half portion of the second spring wear will going to present inside the both axes. So to eliminate this one, the equation I am writing here, see here. Radial clearance is denoted by small c. So this is d1 by 2 minus d2 by 2 minus d1 by 2 plus d1 d2 by 2. So it means here, suppose this is the first spring. This is the first spring. I am drawing it again here. Now this is the second spring. Only half portion I am considering. Okay. Now this is the axis of the first spring wear. This is the axis of the second spring wear. So this distance this way here is not appearing clear. So here, see here. So from here to here, d1 by 2. Now again from here to here, d2 by 2. So I am subtracting. So what we will get? I will get this length. Again, if I subtract this diameter, I will get the exactly this figure. That is C. That is minus d1 by 2, diameter of the spring wire by 2 because half portion, plus d2 by 2. Okay. So this is the clearance. And this clearance we can also write as d1 minus d2 by 2. Particularly this one, d1 minus d2 by 2, if you subtract, so we will get this one. So both we are equating. Both we are equating. It means C also we can write as d1 minus d2 by 2. So now the equation becomes d1 minus d2 minus d1 plus d2 equal d1 minus d2. It means the radial clearance between the spring is equal to difference between the diameter of the wire. So d1 minus d2 equal d1 minus d2 plus d1 minus plus d2. So this one gets cancelled, d2 d2. So d1 equal this one. Now d1 equal d1 minus d2 by 2. Now from the spring index, C equal capital D by small d. So from this relation, what is capital D? C into D. Clearance, this is not clearance, this is the spring index. Capital C is the spring index, small c is the radial clearance. Remember this point. Okay. Now D1 equal capital C into D1 minus capital C into D2 by 2. Okay. Now C I am taking outside. So 2 into d1 equal C d1 minus C d2, taking d terms one side, 2 d1 minus C d1 equal C d2. Sorry. Taking d1 terms one side, Now taking D1 one times one side, C1 into, sorry, C into D1 minus 2D1 equals C D2. So D1 taking outside, D1 C minus 2 equals C into D2. Now the ratio D1 by D2, diameter ratios of the spring wire, equal C by C minus 2. This is the another equation we have. This is the sixth equation. So whatever the points I'm writing, sixth equation, fourth equation, third equations, that equations are help while we are solving the numerical problems. Okay. So this one we can use when the diameter ratios of the wires is no, we don't know, but we know the C value. So we, if substitute we here, we will get the D1 by D2 ratio, some constant value. So with this constant value, we can substitute where we don't know two unknown parameters, then we will get the unknown, any one of the value. Okay. So any doubts regarding this concentric spring, Babu? Whatever the comparisons we made so far, any regarding this topic, any doubts do you have? So let me check how many strengths. So very good today 43, but out of 120 only 43 is a not a good result. So listen again, I'm telling you, every faculty having their mentees, they are going to observe. So see here we are preparing also attendance here. Just I'm showing the, okay. So keep in your mind, inform to your friends also. We are maintaining the attendance of each student. So if you are not present, so that could be first you are going to last first. Nobody faculty again. There is no faculty to explain again when we are in a position not understanding what you have the subject. Inform to your friends also to attend the class regularly, because in this semester all whatever the subjects you have all are core and practically whatever after completion your graduation, if you go into the market as a job purpose, whatever the practical situations occurs, that are all are in the subjects. So once if you lost this matter, whatever the delivering by the faculty, so you are not going in a manner to face the situations. You have to increase the strength, Babu. Inform to your friends to join the classes. Every faculty, I think every faculty repeating this statement. Today roll number 3 absent again. Day before yesterday he came again, today he is absent. 51, are you there? He is there, okay. Manoj Babu, are you there? Manoj. Roll number. Manoj. He is not there. Kabir Babu. Kabiruddin. He is not there. Roll number 14. Ramu. Roll number 14. He is not there. Just he presented in class in gone somewhere. So this is the one numerical problem based on the concentric spring. So related to the concentric spring. A concentric spring, see here is just by seeing the title you can conclude that this is a concentric type of problem. A concentric spring for the aircraft engine valve to exert a maximum force of 5000 newtons. So first start writing given data. What is the data given in the question I am writing? What is the given data? Load is given 5000 newtons. Okay. Under an axial deflection of 40 mm. Both springs have same free length, same solid length and are subjected to equal shear stress. Free length is same and solid length is same and shear stress are same 850 megapascal. This is the meaning. If the spring index for the both materials, that is C1, C2 are same as given 6. The question is find the load carried by the each spring. So W1 load carried by the each spring how much? That is the first question. Second question is okay. The second question is main dimensions of the spring. Third question is the number of active coils in each spring. Assuming G is given for the both material, G is given G1 equal G2 equal 80 into 10 power 3 Newton per mm square. And diametral clearance, here statement given, diametral clearance to be equal to the difference between the two wires. So this one I am writing here, diametral clearance D1 minus D2 minus D1 plus D2 equal D1 minus D2. That is the meaning. Diametral clearance is equal to the diametral difference between the spring wires. That is the meaning. So this one you have to remember about. Okay. Now first question is load shared by the each spring how much? Let's consider W1 is the load carried by the first spring and W2 is the load carried by the second spring. So total load is applying on the two spring because this is a concentric spring, composite spring. So that is the reason total load carried by the total setup is 5000. But I don't know W1 how much, W2 how much. That is the question. Okay. Now second question is the dimensions. So to calculate dimensions, let D1 is the mean diameter of the spring wire 1. D2 is the mean diameter of the spring 2 coil. D1 is the spring 1 wire diameter. D2 is the spring wire second diameter. Okay, so that is the question second 2. Now, as per the question given statement, diametral clearance is equal to the difference between the wire diameters. So that again I am writing D1 minus D2 minus D1 plus D2 equal D1 minus D2. Okay. So with this I will get D1 minus D2 by 2 equal D1. Just now we have seen how it is getting. Okay. Now you know the spring index capital D by small d. So instead of writing capital D, we can write in terms of small d. That is C into D1 minus C into D2 by 2 equal D2. So this is also you have seen that directly I am writing the equation. I'm writing the equation d1 by d2 equal c by c minus 2. Spring index is given in the question 6 by 6 minus 2. So what is the ratio of d1 by d2? Tell me the answer. Please tell me the answer, Babu. 6 by 6 minus 2, that is 6 by 4. So how much 6 by 4?
1.5.
1.5. Very good. Okay. Now another relation we have from the equation 4. W1 by W2 equal D1 by D2 whole square. Just now we have seen. So with this, W1 equal D1 by D2 is a 1.5 square into W2. So this is the first equation. Now at the beginning I wrote one thing, W1 plus W2 equal 5000 newtons. This is the second equation. So write the in place W1. I'm again, it is nothing but solving the equation and 2. 1.5 whole square into W2 plus W2 equal 5000 newtons. Now W2 how much? W1 how much? Tell me the answer. Everything is written on the screen. Take the calculators, solve the whatever the equation I written on the screen. Tell me the answers. I want the answer from the all students, not particular few students. Out of 43,
1538.4.
which one, Babu? That one?
W2.
1538.4.
38.4.
What is W1? What is W1? Get it fast. W2 you got here. Substitute the W2, get the W1. That's all. That is here I am writing W1 equal
3461.4.
3461.4. So this is the question is asking load carried by each spring how much. So nothing but W1 for the first spring, W2 is for the second spring. This we calculated. Now second question, dimensions of the spring, main dimensions. So main dimensions is D1, D2, D1, D2, capital D1, small d1, capital D2, small d2. These are all the main dimensions. So from the shear stress equation, shear stress induced in the spring is equal K into 8WD by pi d cube. So here consider wall stress concentration factor. Okay, 4C minus 1 by 4C minus 4 plus 0.615 by C. So it means I am writing here directly 6, 6 and 6. Now tell me the K value how much. Now instead of writing this one, I am writing the slightly I am changing the equation K into 8WC by pi D square, because I don't know capital D. So that's the reason I am changing the equation in terms of C, that equal to shear stress. Now tell me the K value how much you got. K value how much you got, Babu? Tell me the answer.
1.25.
1.25. Okay. Now substitute the all values here. Shear stress equal. Shear stress value also is given 850. 850 equal 850 equal 1.25 into 8 into, now I am calculating for the first wire, K1 W1. So W1 how much we got? W1 3462 into 6 by pi d square. Now with this equation we will get the d1 value in terms of mm. Now tell me the d1 value how much? Do it fast, Babu. D1 value how much? Only one person is interacting to the class. Rest of the people are just, I don't know where they are listening the class.
8.8.
How much, Amma?
8.8.
8.8 mm. Okay. Now from the relation spring index, capital C is equal to capital D by small d. Now because this is the first wire I am calculating D1 by D1. Okay. So D1 equal C1 C into D1. So C value 6, D1 is 8.8. So how much this one? So instead of writing 8.8, tell me now.
52.8.
52.8, it means nearly 60 I am taking. Because your 8.8 here nearly 10 mm I am taking. So 60. Means in the same manner, sigma 2 equal K2 into 8WC by pi D2 square. 850 equal 1.25 into 8 into W2. How much we got W2 value? 1538 into 6 by pi D2 square. Now you will get D2 value in terms of mm. Now tell me the D2 value, how much? Do it fast.
5.8.
5.8. Nothing but I am taking nearly equal to 6 mm. Now from the spring index, C equal D2 by D2. So what is D2 here now? C into D2. C value given in the question 6, and we got the D2 also 6. Now that is the total D2 mean diameter of the spring wire is 36 mm. So these capital D1, small d1, capital D2, small d2 are the main dimensions of the spring that we calculated. Now the third question, number of active coil in each spring. The third question is asking in the question, number of active coils in the each spring, how much? So for to calculate the active turns, we have delta equation, deflection equation, that is 8W d³ into n by g d power 4. Now because this is I am calculating for the first spring 1 1 1 1 1. Okay. Now the concentric spring is based on the assumption W delta 1 delta 2 are equal. Okay, and material is same, that is G1 G2 are equal. So that's the reason. Deflection how much given in the question? Deflection is 40 equal 8. W1 value how much we got? W1 3462 we got, and D1 how much we got? D1 value, just now we got the D1 value. Where is D1? 60. D1 is a 60 cube into N1 that is we don't know. G value is given in the question, 80 into 10 power 3, and small d value you got how much, 10 power 4. On the now only unknown parameter is the n. Now get the number of active turns in the spring. N1 represents the number of active turns in the spring. How much this one? Do it fast, Babu. The problem whatever I'm explaining here, that is you can expect for the long answer question, Babu. Don't neglect to listening. Simple, there is no complicated one here. In simple manner I'm explaining. If you neglecting the listening the class means you are going to lose. I'm telling you. So what is
5.3, sir.
5.3? So nothing but 5.3 means I'm taking 6. This 6 is nothing but number of active coils. But I want again total coils how much? Total coils means combination of active and inactive both. So at this time, because the question is not mentioned what type of end condition is there. So that reason blindly at this situation, if the question is not mentioned what type of end condition, then you have to consider blindly square and ground ended. So after considering that one, related equation we have to write n plus 2. In bracket you have to write, because assuming end condition for the spring, squared and grounded n. So like this you have to write the comment. For writing comments also you have the marks. Okay. So after considering that one, that related equation I'm writing here 8 plus 2. So n1 dash is 6 plus 2, nothing but 8. N1 dash. Okay. Now n2 I require. So what is n2? What is n2? N2 is the number of active coils in the second spring. So this one we can get one relation we have. What is that? When the concentric spring is get compressed totally, then the solid length for the first spring, second spring are equal. That is N1 D1 equal N2 T2. So with this relation, we can get the N2 value. What is the N2 here from this equation? N2 dash equal N1 dash D1 by D2. So N2 dash equal N1 just now we got 8. D1 how much? D1 by D2, I think we got the ratio D1 by D2. How much D1 by D2?
7.2.
Which one, Babu?
N2.
Okay. Just wait, I'm writing the equation. D1 by D2 ratio, how much we got? 1.5. How much, Babu, now? Please tell me the answer. 8 into 1.5.
12.
12, sir.
Sir. Hello. Okay, tell me the
12, sir.
12. Now, what we are assuming, end condition is squared and grounded end. So for that reason n2 dash is n plus 2. So here whatever the answer we got, that is a combination of active coils and inactive coils. But the question is asking only active coil, that is this one. Okay. So that is n2 equal N2 dash minus 2. N2 as a 12 minus 2, that is 10. Okay. Now after this, question is given up to here, but additional things I am calculating. See here. Additional things I am calculating. Free length of the spring, how much? Free length of the spring is n dash into d plus deflection plus 0.15 into deflection. So for what spring we am calculating, because both spring having the same free length, the assumption. So that reason here, first spring I am calculating. Now n1 value, how much we got? N1 value we got n1 dash 8, and d2 value, d1 value, how much we got? 10. Eight into 10 plus 40 is given in the question, plus 0.15 into 10. Now tell me the free length of the spring, how much?
121.5.
121.5 mm. Now what is the, for spring wire 1, what is the, for the first spring, what is the inner diameter of the spring, what is the outer diameter of the spring? For second spring, what is the inner diameter of the spring, what is the outer diameter of the spring? Just calculate it. Inner diameter means this is the one d plus d, this is the d minus d, 1 1, this is the d minus d, this is the d plus d. Tell me fast answers in terms of mm. Now after this, tell me the pitch value. Pitch for the first spring, length of the spring by n dash minus 1. Same for second, LF by n2 minus 1 into dash minus 1. Tell me the answer, Babu. We don't have time first. You're taking too much time, so nobody responding the class. Only one person, I think, 1 or 2 persons remaining. Rest of the people are not interacting to the class. Again, I am repeating, whatever the numerical problems I am explaining, these are all the long answer type questions. Simply you are going to fail in the subject, Babu, if you not listen the subject class. Because without remembrance of the equation, you can't solve the problem. And application also, if you not listen the class, how to apply the formulas, also you are not get the awareness. Tell me the answers, Babu. Whatever the parameters are written on the screen, do it fast. D1 we got, D1 we got 60, 10. This is
E1 equal to 17.3.
Which one, Amma? This one. This one.
E1, sir.
P1. How much, Amma?
17.3.
17.3. Now what is P2? Now P2 how much?
Sir, N2 value once shown, sir.
Okay. N2 value 10. N2 dash. N2 dash is 12.
P2 13.5.
13.5.
Sir. 10.3, sir.
Which one is this one?
Yeah. LF, you have done only LF1, sir. You have to do LF2 also, no?
No, LF2 we have to do, but assumption is both spring having the question itself given, both springs having the same free length. So no need to calculate. If the question particularly mentioned what is LF1, what is LF2, at that time we have to calculate separately. Question itself mentioning both are having the same length.
11.05.
11.05. Okay. So after calculating these are all things, what is the final step? Do you know? In design of springs, what we have to do? After calculating the all parameters pertaining to the spring, what we have to do? Anybody? What we have to do after calculating all the things? Please tell me the answer, Babu. I am not asking any complicated things. What we have to do after calculating these are all things?
Drawing a spring and mention all parameters.
Very good. After calculating these are all things, draw with pencil neat sketch and show the dimensions what you calculated on the paper on the spring. That is the end of the problem. If you not draw, even the question is asking or not asking, whether is asking or not asking, it is not a matter. In design of spring, you have to draw the spring first. After calculating the other all things, draw the spring with pencil. Don't use the pen, with pencil, and show the dimensions what you calculated. Okay. Regarding today's topic, do you have any doubts, Babu? With this, design of helical spring topic is over, and one more topic is left out, that is design of leaf spring. With that, we are going to complete the first unit, design of springs. Okay. Do you have any doubts from the starting to this end of the today topic? Do you have any doubts? You can ask.
No, sir.
So what is the strength now? 52. See here, again I am repeating, daily we are consolidating your attendance. See here, I think it is appearing on screen. So daily it is consolidating your attendance day by day. Today is again we are taking new attendance. Today is the 26th year. So we are noting down the every person attendance in percentage manner, how many classes he are attending particular day. Today whatever the subjects we have, whether he is attending the total all subject or not, we are calculating. Okay, don't think nobody will see if you not attend the class, like that.